And we are live. What's going on, crypto warriors? And welcome back to another special AMA. Today we have Bomb Money Team here. We're about to find out all things Bitcoin plus DeFi reimagined in their world and some of the things they have going on. So without further ado, let's welcome CEO and founder Aaron Shames to the interview, as well as his, I would say, second in command and does all things, everything at the company, Hanford, as well. Hey guys, welcome.
How you doing?
Good. Hey, thanks for being here. Definitely appreciate it. I'm checking my YouTube now. Perfect. We're live on our YouTube as well. So I'm going to open up these comments and see what we have going on. First thing I have to ask both of you really briefly, what got you into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole? We always ask people this so we can kind of see your journey from, oh, I like Bitcoin and crypto to now I'm a project founder. Like, how did that happen?
I mean, I think like most people, I found out about Bitcoin, in the early days, and it wasn't. I'll be honest, it wasn't too exciting to me at first. I didn't know what was going to come of it. I kind of went on with my own career outside of crypto for a couple of years, and it's when I found out about smart contracts and what you could do with smart contracts. That's really what got me, like, kind of combined everything that I really loved. Technology, automation, money, financials, and crypto, and being able to program things around crypto. That's what it just made me, dive in full force, and I love it. It's all I ever want to do now. So,
and Bitcoin,
yeah, and Bitcoin, being the most well known, the most stable, and in crypto winters, Bitcoin's the one that's taken the least damage, right? It's like, it's already, crypto's already volatile enough that like I want to be in something that's as stable as possible, but still going to get me those returns.
So for the layman out there, exactly what is Bomb Money? What are you all doing, and how did you get started?
All right, so Bomb Money we were the very first fork of Tomb Finance. So Tomb Finance is an algorithmic stablecoin on the Phantom network.
Yeah, we got some shout out to Michael Kennedy. He's one of our warriors. He likes Tomb Finance and all that good stuff. He told us about it. Okay, so you're the first fork of Tomb Finance.
Yeah, so we started the whole trend. There's probably about 800 forks now, if maybe 1,000 now. So we started that in November of last year, and just because of how well we did right out of the gate, everybody wanted to make one. So there's quite a few out there now, but but we made a couple of major changes from Tomb. So we said, hey, we're not going to peg to Phantom, we're not going to peg to BNB, we're pegging to Bitcoin, right? So we're like, we want to give people these high DeFi yields, but with the stability of Bitcoin, kind of the best of both worlds. Right. So it's one of the first rules of investing should be don't lose money. Well, having a peg coin to Bitcoin that's paired with Bitcoin is about as safe as it's going to get in crypto. And then to tie in like really high yields on top of that, now you're taking advantage of DeFi. It's, just advantageous all around.
So exactly what does Bomb Money do on the DeFi side?
Let me share my screen. I'll show you. I think it's this guy. Yeah. So this site's about to get replaced. We have a new user interface that's actually, I have it open here. It's just about ready for production use. But this is our site that we're currently using. So our main offering is our Bomb Bitcoin pair, which you can kind of see the stats on that right here. Maybe I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So Bomb is pegged to Bitcoin, but at a 10,000 to 1 ratio. So as you can see, Bomb is $4.15 right now. And that just kind of keeps the Bomb price a little bit more, manageable for people that are buying and selling Bomb, as opposed to pegging 1 to 1. So what we do is we highly incentivize farming this pair. So, you have half Bomb, half Bitcoin, you combine them, and we pay, I think it's 0.4% daily APR right now we're paying on that. So, and what that's doing is it's letting other users, buy or sell Bomb against Bitcoin. And that's why we incentivize that pair, just because the more liquidity we have in that pair, the more stable the price is. Right now we're at, 3.6 or 3.36 million liquidity. That number is going to jump up real quick. And so that's our main offering. There's a lot more behind the scenes going on here, and a lot more advanced strategies for more advanced DeFi users. For example, we have B shares, which, when the price of Bomb gets too high, like above the ratio that it's supposed to be at, we print new Bomb, and those go to the B shareholders. as an example of one of the more advanced strategies. But for 90% of users, I'd say, you don't need to look any further than, our BOM Bitcoin pair. It's safe. It pays well.
And that's what I was gonna say. I see on your website you have the Bitcoin single staking, where it says you can deposit your Bitcoin to your Bitcoin single staking vault as a liquidity pool with the BOM token. So out of curiosity, you're telling people, hey, if you stake your Bitcoin here, not only can you earn rewards, but when you actually withdraw it off, you still have the same amount of Bitcoin, the principal that you started with, correct?
Yeah. So with our Bitcoin mainnet offerings, that's bombtc.com. This has really taken off the last month. So with this, you deposit Bitcoin, you earn Bitcoin back. Simple as that, right? Nothing else to it. When you use our DeFi protocol, you are able to earn higher returns, but at the same time, you're entering the pair, and there is a little bit more risk involved, I guess, in case if the price of BOM starts to drop below peg quite a bit, you could, depending on how long you've been in, you probably have enough rewards to make up for it. But there is the potential there that you could suffer losses there, on top of, any price action on Bitcoin. So it's a little bit more risky, but it's for all the pairs out there, it's extremely stable. It pays extremely well.
What's one of the best features that you all think you have that separates yourself, that differentiates? As you said, you did a fork, and then next thing you know, there's hundreds coming after you. So what's the thing that's still making you all unique in this space here?
Well, I think our roadmap and our, how fast we execute on new ideas, like we just recently launched, just to show you a couple things that we've added above and beyond your standard Tomb fork. So we have XBOM. So, as I mentioned earlier, people can stake B shares and they can earn BOM. I don't have any on this account, but when they earn BOM, they can also deposit that BOM to receive XBOM, which has quite a high APR on it. And that's our governance token. And we now added a new fork where you can actually deposit that as collateral and borrow a stable coin. This is we're going to update the look of this. We're in the process of it, but this is an Abracadabra money fork. So here you can see I've deposited almost $500,000 of XBOM and borrowed $85,000 of stable coin, right? So in my position is quite safe. So we've just recently added this in. Just more utility, and we just keep building. We have a lot more things on the roadmap, and myself and the team that I have working around me, we're able to just execute on those ideas at really, really fast pace, and it's allowed us to get ahead of. Well, we were the first Tomb fork, but it's allowed us to stay ahead, I guess.
Yeah, and
it's just one example.
And you all have an app right now. Is that already up and running?
So we have the domain bomb.app, which is where our new UI will be hosted. It's not like a native app. All of our sites are mobile friendly. So just to give you a sneak peek, this is it's not done yet, but this is an example of the new UI. So, we have BTC single asset staking, obviously on Binance, it's called BTCB. We have BOM single asset staking. The APRs dynamically adjust based on, how much those assets that are staked, how much they're being utilized through borrowing. So these will always be changing. Right now, there's a lot of BOM supplied. It hasn't been borrowed much, so the APR is super low on that. There's an auto compounding vault built into this. So the same pair I was just talking about.
I was going to ask that. So they are auto compounding. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And the beauty of this, it's not functional yet, but you will be able to leverage. So just say you have a $10,000 position in BOM BTCB. You'll be able to use these assets that people have staked in order to leverage your position out. And so this is actually a Taro fork on Finance, if anyone's familiar with that. So the beauty of it, though, is that when you leverage an LP, the LP is your collateral. It's auto compounding while it's being deposited as collateral. And because it's a peg token, the prices don't deviate much between the two. So if Bitcoin doubles, BOM doubles as well, just because they're paired together. So short of anybody selling BOM directly follows the price of Bitcoin. So this is one of the safest things that you could leverage, because the only way that you get liquidated when leveraging is if the ratio between the two assets deviates far from when you entered. So this is it's perfect for this type of thing, basically.
So I'm seeing here a few things. So I am looking at the Bomb Money app. I do see the pairing on Pancake Swap that you're doing. What made you choose Pancake Swap for it?
That's a good question. At first, we chose PancakeSwap just because it's the most well known on BSC. It's the biggest on BSC still. Um, and we actually right at the very beginning, we were trying to work out a deal with ApeSwap, probably the third or fourth biggest DEX on BSC, and we actually switched all of our pairs over to ApeSwap. But a lot of our users, they were just used to PancakeSwap. They just we did a vote, and I think it was 90% plus wanted us to go back to PancakeSwap. So we said, okay, well, let's do what the users want. That's a big principle of ours, right? It's like we do governance votes on everything. We always take, community, feedback into consideration. At the end of the day, we want to do what our users want us to do. Whatever's going to make them happy, whatever they want to see, as long as it makes sense for the protocol, it's safe for everybody. That's what we want to do. So.
And just so everyone knows that you have a native token, and then as well as, because it's BShare and there's Bomb. Can you explain the difference between those?
Sure. You want to take this one, Hanford?
Yeah, go for it. Do you want to jump on the home screen? There we go. Cool. So our main token, which is Bomb, is the one that's pegged 10,000 to 1 to Bitcoin. And we're trying to keep that. Basically, the aim is to try and stay around 1.00. That's what we call peg. So that's the aim. If we're above that, we print more Bomb to bring the price down. And if we're below it, then we've got, I won't touch on it too much, we've got our B bonds, which help bring the price back up. But also we have our auto compounding vaults and also new buyers as well coming in, buying for a discount, basically. You can almost see Bomb under peg as discount Bitcoin. That's how we're trying to advertise it, because that's what it is. And then BShare, we've already explained briefly about the boardroom. So when you stick them in there, all the BShare holders get printed out Bomb at a very high rate. I'm not sure what the current percentage is for the last print, Aaron. What was it?
Yeah, I mean, based on the last print, the APR is 2,842%. So
yeah,
but again, that's based on it printing every single 6-hour period, which the last one we didn't print. So
yeah, as I still a really, really high return, because every 6 hours we have an epoch, and if we're above 1.01 at the end of that, then the boardroom prints basically, and prints out more Bomb to bring the price down. That's the whole system and how it works. So B shares are expected to go up in value a lot in the future, because if we look at the original fort we came from, Tomb Finance, I believe their token went up above $20,000 each, just because they pay out that well, basically.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So the key is consistently printing. So once we have more eyes on this and we have more people coming in, we'll be able to maintain the price over that 1.01 mark where we need it to be to print. So once we're printing 2-3 times a day consistently, this APR is just insane. So people will pile into the B shares, and the price will go up drastically.
And what's the current APR on it?
2,842. But again, it's slightly misleading though, because that's based on us printing every 6 hours, which is not the case. We're printing probably on average about every second epoch right now. So I'd say roughly halve this for now.
Well, I do appreciate you being honest, and at least telling people that, hey, this might be a little off for these reasons. Instead of just be like, yeah, this is what it is. Come on through. So we can appreciate that here. Really quick, I see, and can I share my screen as well? I was looking at the votes and everything.
Yep.
Let me see. Share screen. There we go. Let's see.
Let me remove mine.
Here it is. So I was looking at the let's see.
I don't see
proposals. There we go. The proposals page where you have the votes. How has this process been working for you? Are you looking to have more users use governance tokens? I'm seeing about 42 members here, but I do see the proposals. I see when I click on them, also you can leave comments. It shows you who all have already voted yes or no based on the address. What are your thoughts? I love the governance system. What are your thoughts when you create it, and where are you looking for this to go toward?
Oh yeah, I'm a big believer in governance votes. It's we want to do what the community wants to do. So what better way than to accomplish that than let the people that actually have a stake in the protocol make those decisions for us, right? So it's so what we do is we put forward a proposal of what we think is the right thing to do, and then we just see if the community agrees with it or not. Right. So that's generally what we do. And so far our votes have pretty much all been landslides. we have a great
So I was
community.
gonna say that every single one so far has been yes.
Yeah, I mean, like they have a lot of faith in what we decide what we want to do. So, I mean, they have been pretty much all landslides towards yes. But either way, we want to see what the community has to say, and if we propose something that the community doesn't like, if they vote no, we're not going to do it. Simple as that.
Yep.
Right. And to connect, you can connect with a simple MetaMask wallet, correct?
Yep. And so XBOM is our governance token. So we've actually set up the voting site so that any XBOM in your account can be used for voting power, but also any XBOM that's deposited here also is counted for your voting power. So you're not losing your voting power by depositing your collateral here to borrow stablecoins.
Well, where was here, Aaron? Your screen's not showing.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my mistake. So, yeah, okay, I'll share.
Yeah, I just took mine off for you.
Yeah. So, any XBOM that's in your account, like what it shows right here, that counts for voting, as well as any XBOM that you have deposited as collateral on our, BUSM or BOM US money stablecoin. That also counts for your voting power. So you're not giving up your voting power by depositing XBOM here. So.
All right. Looked like some viewers said they like what you're doing over here. I was just looking at the screen. One thing I want to look at. Well, what made you? So, do you have any worries about Binance Smart Chain, PancakeSwap? We keep hearing about the hacks that happen, the exploits. How are you all hardening yourself against that? And do you have any worries about that?
So, I don't like. PancakeSwap is a fork of Uniswap v2, like the vast majority of decentralized exchanges out there. This is proven to be rock solid. So the core of PancakeSwap, which is all that we're using of PancakeSwap, right? It's rock solid. I have no concerns there. BSC, I like Binance. I mean, as much as they don't offer service where I live anymore, but as a company, it's
blame the government. They said,
yeah, it's true. I have a lot of faith in Binance, and I feel very strong about our decision to put this on BSC. So I'm not worried there. In terms of our own code, pretty much everything that we have is, has been forked from really well-known projects that have been battle tested. So for example, Tomb Finance, they've had as much as 1.5 billion value locked. They've never had an issue. Besides the tax issue early on, but that's something minor that we disabled tax on ours. So that's a non-issue. But yeah, they haven't had any issues. So if there was a possibility for an exploit there, somebody would have found it when they had over $1 billion locked, right? So it's, our auto vaults were forked from Beefy Finance, and that's obviously extremely battle tested. For anyone that's not aware, they're the biggest yield aggregator on BSC and maybe beyond. This has been, I'm not sharing my screen anymore.
So thanks, Aaron, for the question. Aaron said, considering the recent DAO hacking, you kind of answered it, but maybe a little more detail. How can you all prevent someone from doing a smart contract hack, setting up a proposal to change the DEB wallet?
So somebody like proposing, that's just a matter of just reviewing the proposal, right?
There's regular votes. Yeah, if it's a
proposal.
Well,
for one on our vote, we only have a couple wallets that are allowed to propose something. So, that
I got you. So it wouldn't even be an issue to begin with.
Yeah, but we'll likely change that in the future, but we'll definitely, we'll screen anything like that, very thoroughly before we ever let it pass. Right.
So I'm looking at the farms again. What made you all want to do auto compound for every 2 hours, or in general, what made you want to auto compound it? Usually I see it gives users the ability to either compound or not compound and just put up. What all made you? Is this something you say, hey, let's just make this easy for the users? What were your thoughts behind that?
A lot of people like the auto compounders, and for good reason. So just
I personally, I would like it, to be fair, because I wouldn't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And just to, for all the users to see exactly what you're talking about. These 3 auto compounding vaults that we have here, they're, that's these 2 farms at the top, as well as this bottom one here. We didn't yet get the auto compounders going for these 2. So anyone that wants to earn, they can choose to earn and manually collect the rewards and do whatever they want with the rewards. Or if you just want to set it and forget it, what the auto compounders do is every 2 hours, they take those rewards, they sell them, and they make your actual position bigger. So now you're getting exposure to Bitcoin, but you're also gaining more Bitcoin and more BOM every 2 hours. So, for example, this was launched in, I want to say late December, I think. Or
late December, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so this is like 2.5 times since then. So, because auto compounding means that every time it compounds and your position's bigger, the next auto compound is compounding, not only the initial, but the initial plus the previous compound. So it's, that's why that's why some of these APYs are so
Right.
high.
That gets so high because it's saying if you continue to compound it this way, this would be the APY for the year for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love it. I
And
love it. Hey, shout out to everyone in the chat on everything. What's going on, Matthew Martinez? What's going on, Teddy, a rapper? Let's see some questions. All content X. What's going on? We have a Bomb is the best. This is Bomb, not EMP friend. We have a great article, How to Print Forever and Good Team and Community Educating People. There we go. All right. I'm not sure what the EMP thing was about. Yeah, I'm not sure.
A fork of us.
Oh, it was another fork. Okay. Oh, they did like what you were doing, huh?
one of
everyone does.
So wait, how long? Okay, how long? You said one is just one of the farms have only been operating. One of the bosses has only been operating since December. How long have you all been operating? What's the longest running vault that you have, or the longest running farm staking?
We launched November 23rd.
Okay.
And then we had a lot of requests to have these auto compounding vaults, so we got this going as quick as we could. It took about a month or so because there's other priorities as well. But yeah, so we've had these two top vaults have been running since the beginning of our vaults, which was late December. Bomb BTCB is about 2.5 times. So for example, if you had 10 LP tokens, you now have 25. Our B share BNB, this one, has a higher APY. This was over triple last I looked at it. It might even be 4 times now, but there's a lot more volatile and you're not getting the Bitcoin exposure. So, it's still a great vault to get into. Generally we recommend like 75% here, 25% in the second one, or 80-20, or if you like, if you want to just be safe, you can just go 100% in the first one.
Well, I will say what I do like is that you've been around for a few months now, and there hasn't been any seemingly glaring issues. That's a good thing. Most of the rug pulls usually happen within the first couple of weeks. First month, it happens very quickly, so they won't be found out. So I do love that you're starting to build that longevity here. I'm clicking around because I'm looking at all these different pages. I also love the fact that you can get Bitcoin back. Of course, a lot of our community, their end goal is to acquire as much Bitcoin as possible. I guess when you were creating this, what was one of the biggest challenges you faced? What were some of the things that kind of kept you up at night when it came to your protocol?
We have a couple core values, right? Like, and those are, we put our users and our investors first, right? Like I don't want anyone to lose money, right? So that's something, if anything keeps me up at night, I want to make sure that, for one, everything is safe, it's stable, it's secure. I've put a lot of my own money into this. When Peg has dropped, I've, used my own money to bring Peg back up, to make it healthy. It's at this point, nothing's really keeping me up at night. At the beginning, I didn't know how it was going to do. It just skyrocketed. Right. And, I always thought like, oh, hopefully we can get to this X number and we'd be like 3 notches higher. Right. It just this blew up bigger than I could have ever imagined. It's our value locked has dropped a little bit. Like we did hit 40 million in the first month because just people went crazy for this being the
right. As soon as it's new, everybody's gonna hop on it. Like, what was your APRs at first?
Oh, like over 10% a day. Like
okay.
B share hit 13,000.
Man, I missed it. I'm a DJ. Come on, Warriors, you're supposed to tell me about these opportunities.
Hey, we're about to start our second run. It's already started, but B share was 13,000 in the past, and I think it's going to get there again. It's only 175 right now. So.
Nice. What about you, Hamper? What you do in your position right now, kind of operating everything? What are some of the things you're seeing, the feedback from the community, other communities? Like someone just said, you guys have already been forked and stuff. So what's some of the feedback you're receiving, and how are you all moving forward processing that feedback?
I think we've got a lot of information from we call them our bombers, the regulars. They're bringing information in from for example, EMP money, and some ideas that they're implementing, and we talk about it internally with our main team, and we just see how that would fit into our ecosystem, and if it's something we want to add in, basically, if it adds real value. That's the main thing. There's a lot of stuff out. I won't say anything, but there's a lot of things out there which we don't want to add just because it's not really a long-term fix. It's more of a short-term band-aid. That's what we're trying to get around. So we're building real use cases with your BUSM money, XBOM, and we've got our Tarot fork coming soon. All of these are going to be utilized really well and really benefit the protocol long term, which is the main aim.
So from a long-term standpoint, do you all always plan to have the farming and staking? Oftentimes we see these things change. Of course, the APRs go down. Sometimes volume leaves as far as users once that APR goes down. So what are your thoughts, I guess, to keep engagement, to keep engagement consistent as you all continue to grow and as some of these APRs and things may decline?
So the key is just BOM buy pressure, which we create with, BOM use cases. And, one of the biggest ones probably is, the fact that we have, let me share my screen again. The fact that we have the, BUSM money, which is our Abracadabra money fork. As well, we're in talks with them, we're in late talks with them in terms of getting a partnership with them where they'll actually list XBOM on their site. So you could borrow Magic Internet money, which has more liquidity. So, you can sell it without impacting the price. We just launched this. So I think we only have $650,000 of liquidity. We need to get that into the millions to make this actually really, really useful for people. As well, we have another partnership that's super exciting with Midas Capital. They're just launching on BSC. They're going to let you use XBOM as collateral to borrow BTC and I believe a couple different assets beyond BTC. As well, they're going to let you deposit our basically the same thing that you deposit on our farm page.
Just really quick, because you said it, but I don't want to gloss over it. You'll be able to use XBOM to borrow Bitcoin from this platform.
Yeah,
that's going to be huge for you.
That's going to be huge. But not only that, though, they're going to let you deposit our LP tokens, the same thing that, I have 20.9 deposited here. They're going to let you deposit our LP tokens as collateral, but at the same time, it's going to be auto compounding through our rewards. So it's not like you're putting the LP there and nothing's happening with them. The LP is still going to continuously grow from farming, but you'll still be able to use that as collateral to borrow Bitcoin. So they said that we're only like the second DeFi protocol in all of DeFi that's going to have that option.
Yeah, so to add to that as well. So, every time we compound, every 2 hours, your borrowing position will be safer and safer with you doing nothing, which is amazing.
Value add for sure. And I'm just looking at your homepage. I mean, Bitcoin plus DeFi reimagined. Current daily APR for Bitcoin is 0.5%. And is that still the current one?
I think our pair might have dropped slightly below that right now. So our main pair, it's 0.34%. Again, so just to touch on the APRs though, the APR is based on a couple things, right? So it's based on how many people are farming, which you can basically just see by how much liquidity we have, 3.3 million. And it's also based on our reward tokens value. So, me and pretty much every member of the community feel that this is quite undervalued right now. When we can get, just a little bit more demand on BOM, a few more people farming BOM, we'll be printing more consistently. Although it's been quite consistent the last couple of weeks. When we're printing consistently, I mean, this token is going to skyrocket, which is going to help the APRs quite a bit. Like we might get into, it could easily go over 1% a day or potentially much higher.
So when you say printing, do you all decide that that's already built into the protocol?
That's when we're over 1.01 on the peg that I got highlighted right there. So, so printing means like at the end of every epoch, which is every 6 hours, if our time weighted average price for the peg is over 1.01, that's when we generate a print. So nice. B shares are really in demand when we're printing consistently. So that's why the price is as low as it is, right? It's like $175 right now.
What's going on, Diamond? I agree with you. That's just wild auto compounding LP position as collateral. Exactly. I kind of feel the same way. It definitely can help protect the principal. So I am with that. Let's see. Samuel, what's going on? Can you please ask about the utility for the BOM Money OG NFTs? Is this too early? I didn't see any NFT on the thing. So is this like something that's supposed to be going out in the email soon?
So we did launch an NFT collection. I'll pull it up real quick. We did promise utility. We have not yet decided on exactly what that utility will be, but we will not disappoint. So here's a collection here. And we have multiple other NFT collections planned as well. We'll probably figure out the utility before we launch the next one. But yeah, we
Yeah, for sure.
This is our first collection, and it was a very limited run, not too many of them, and yeah, we'll put some special utility behind this and get demand up on them, and
Great.
looks like they're trading a little bit. 13 hours ago. Hey, I sold one 13 hours ago. Nice.
From you.
Yeah. Well, that's me too.
Matthew said, and this is a big one, and this is something interesting to hear your answer. I will say that this is something we try to teach education on our side of the fence. But Matthew Martinez said, any plans or marketing efforts to push education on how to use the protocol right?
So my answer to that is that we want to guide our users towards the right investments for them. So that's like what our new UI really is going to do, right? It's going to really focus on our BOM BTCB pair. I feel that our current website, it mentions too many things that are really irrelevant for the vast majority of users. Like when I sign up a family member for this, I get them into BOM BTCB Auto Vault and they're laughing, right? And they don't have to worry about anything. They don't care about the B share price. They don't care what the peg is. They don't care about anything. They just want their BOM Bitcoin to grow, and it does, right? So it's instead of we do want to educate users. Like we do have thorough documentation for those users that do want to dive deeper into the protocol, but the new UI is going to really focus on all the aspects that are best for newer users or even the vast majority of users, so that level of education is not required to get in. Because even if you have the education, some people don't want to learn; they just want to make money. Right?
Oh, man. Oh, yo, you starting to sound like a maximalist over here. I agree with you, though. And that's the thing. Again, we teach that stuff in classes. And the thing about it, as we tell people in the classes, like once you learn how to do it on one protocol, you're essentially going to learn how to do it majority of protocols, unless something in the next 100%. Year changes on the tech side. So essentially, people, how to farm and stake on, in bridge, of course, from BSC to BNB or whatever, how to do all these things, then it's going to work the exact same way on this protocol. It's just a different website, different names, but essentially the steps you would take will be the same. So as long as you know how to farm and stake on any DeFi protocol, then you'll be fine here as well. And with the fork, and this is what I'm thinking, again, is there any concern when these companies start to fork you all or essentially carbon copy what you're doing, and then say, hey, we got APRs and APYs too, but we all know that maybe theirs will only last a month or two, but still it dilutes the project itself. So what are your thoughts on that? How do you kind of, combat against that?
Even worse, that's even worse than that is when we get forked or, cloned, copied, and they rug, and it's happened numerous times, right? So like if you don't, even if the team's, claims to be doxed or, it's really hard to trust, random people on the internet. And that's why, I've been doxed since day one. People know my LinkedIn, they know where I live, people know everything about me, right? And I got nothing to hide. I've seen a lot of different excuses for not being fully transparent, and I don't believe any of them, right? It's like, people are afraid people are going to come after them if things don't go right. Well, we've already had a couple, ups and downs, and, the community knows that everything that I do is to make this as profitable and, protect investors' money as much as I possibly can. And if that's like blatantly obvious to the community, nobody's coming after you. Nobody said, anything bad about me, right? Or wanted to come after me, really. So it's, I think it's important to, be fully doxed. And, if you want people to trust you, you gotta put your name out there, put your name on it, right?
Yeah,
there it is. All Content X said, okay, you all have a weekly AMA on Wednesday and Twitter Spaces every Friday. And Aaron is also always active in Discord on Telegram. So a lot of places, again, follow those Telegrams, Discords, and check out those Twitter Spaces for those who are interested in the project to make sure you're staying up to date with all things BOM and what they're doing. All right, so it looks like you all are based out of Canada. Is that correct?
I am, yeah. So I guess BOM Money is based out of Canada. It's incorporated in Canada. So.
Only reason I ask is because, especially with Canada and how they're kind of starting to take that strong regulatory approach to cryptocurrency, is there anything, whether it's Canada or United States, they try to come after DeFi a little bit early last year, but as I said last year, I was like, the NFT market was a blessing in disguise because it did, it took the attention away from DeFi to NFT because the government was like, oh, we could definitely get some money off this one. Like DeFi, it's hard to track those folks down, but NFT, we can. Yeah. So in general, what are your thoughts on the regulation, the impending regulation coming down when it comes to DeFi, when it comes to Canada, and how they feel about crypto? Like, what are your thoughts about that?
Put it this way, I'll move somewhere before I let the government shut down BOM Money. I'll go wherever I need to go so I could run this. right?
Listen,
We
worst
got
case
my-
scenario, you might have me as a user in about 2 hours. Okay. There we go. Here we go. Hanford,
Yes.
what are your thoughts? You're the guy on the ground floor dealing with some of this stuff.
I say myself, I'm over in the UK, but again, very very similar to Aaron. If the UK decides to shut down, then I'll also be moving somewhere else. 100%.
We actually just talked about that on our show yesterday. I was like, this ideal of we're just not going to let adults be in crypto or whatever is going out the window soon. I'm like, there's more people, especially of our age range and generation, who are going to be like, no, like I can have, I've traveled, I can have a second home in the US. Like if that needs to be the second home, like it doesn't have to be here in our country, especially when we were talking about the technology projects and things you're doing. I mean, you're talking about a 200%, 300% APR. That can change some people's lives, even when you're talking about hundreds of dollars, thousands, smaller
100%.
thousands of dollars, not hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you're talking a person who, you survey the average person, especially in America, and it's like, what's the one thing that could change your life or help life? Is they're like, hey, I need extra $200 or $300 a month. Extra $300 a month can change someone's life. So when you're looking at protocols where you do have these high APRs, and essentially you don't have to throw out a lot of principal toward it, I see it being very appealing for the layman. The only problem is right now the layman isn't educated enough to know to jump on these protocols. So hopefully AMAs like this and reaching out to communities like this can help all of those folks as they start to learn some of this stuff. What's the I guess, when people first enter your ecosystem, where would you direct them to first? All right, I like Bomb Money. I'm hearing the AMA. Things sound good. Aaron and Hanford sound like some stand-up guys. I'm interested. What do I do first?
So someone that's not dabbled in DeFi before, I'd recommend them throw some Bitcoin on Bitcoin staking, right? Just BTC mainnet, you sign up, you put how much you want to stake. It gives you an address to send to. As soon as we've received one confirmation on that, you're good to go. We got a 5% bonus going. APR is very likely to increase, although it's still exceptional for Bitcoin. That's your best bet if you're not comfortable in DeFi. If you are somewhat comfortable in DeFi, then very soon we have a new UI coming. It's going to be at bomb.app. Right now I'm just, I got a kind of a demo up of it at max.bomb.app. But it'll just be at like the domain bomb.app, which I think right now forwards to our other site. But so once that's ready, that'll be the spot to go. But for now, I'd recommend just going to our auto vaults. You can zap right in. So if you got BTCB on the Binance Smart Chain, you just hit BTCB, put whatever you want to put in, wait for this thing to calculate. It's going to calculate to tell you that, okay, you're going to be selling half of this for Bomb.
Yeah.
This takes a second sometimes, but there we go. So I'll just zoom in a little bit on that. So it's basically going to be swapping half of that Bitcoin I just mentioned, I put up there for 51 Bomb. It's going to make the LP for me. It's going to deposit the LP into the vault. Basically, you don't have to worry about any of this stuff, but it takes care of everything in one transaction. Like I'll just go ahead and put that through right now.
Yeah. Does it all for you. So you literally do that once and it compounds until you want to take it out one day. Simple.
Yes,
and shout out to you all again. You could have really simply just went here first, but I do like how you said, hey, just go for the Bitcoin and keep it simple. I definitely, everyone definitely appreciates that, where you're like, hey, do the smart thing first and learn about the harder stuff later. When it comes, you say it's a 5% bonus. Like, did I hear that right? On the initial principal for Bitcoin?
Yeah. That's
over on BTC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just on this one.
All right, like I said, give me 2 hours now. Hold on. How are you eligible for that 5%? Do you have to keep the Bitcoin in there for like a week or something, or how's that work?
It's a 6. So to receive the full, to receive the 5% bonus and to be able to actually claim all of the rewards that you've accumulated, the Bitcoin does have to stay there for 6 months. It can be withdrawn early, but you would forfeit the 5% bonus, and you'd also forfeit a percentage of the rewards you've accumulated, depending on how close you are to 6 months. It's like a linear scale, right?
I like it to so you can kind of maintain some stability there, and people just aren't coming in like me and then get the 5% and leave an hour later type of deal. So definitely smart.
We thought about that one. Yeah.
Hey, listen, DGen over here. Okay, we will game the system if we can.
Yeah. 100%.
Speaking of withdrawals, have you had any issues since you started with withdrawals when people withdraw from LPs or the staking Bitcoin in general? Have you had any withdrawal issues, and if so, how have you fixed them?
No, we've had we haven't had a lot of withdrawals, but we've had our fair share. Like, I mean, probably out of the, we've probably had maybe 5% of people that have staked have withdrawn. I'm not even sure why they're withdrawing, but they always
I say that's fair.
their withdrawal. Yeah, they always just get their withdrawal within 24 hours, usually right away.
Yep.
Cool.
I mean,
cool,
like
cool.
it really depends on if we have Bitcoin in our, Bitcoin payment gateway. If we have it there, we'll just send out the withdrawal right away. Or if we have to like transfer Bitcoin there, it could take a couple extra hours, but it's always done within 24 hours.
Good stuff. Let's see what else do we have. I'm looking at some of these comments. Hey, welcome to the show again. We have Bomb Money founder and operating officer Hanford and Aaron here with us today. They're getting into all things Bomb Money. For those who are just listening, you can stake Bitcoin, earn a percentage back on your Bitcoin, and actually get a bonus for it. And they also have liquidity pools and farms if you want to get those crazy high APRs you hear about in the space. In addition to that, the reason why you can get those APRs is because they have a auto compound element to their protocol. So you no longer have to go in, which again, I kind of strongly dislike on some of these platforms. Essentially, I had to go in every 8 hours or every day. And I had to, compound my earnings. Now, for me, the issue with that is I keep my cryptocurrency workspace big, like it's on an entirely different, it's not on my regular internet where I serve. It's not on my regular computer or user.
Yeah.
It takes me about 10 minutes to set up my Bitcoin and cryptocurrency environment, like trading, all that. It takes me about 10 minutes because I want a hacker to have to take a good 10 to 20 minutes to do it too. Maybe they'll get bored.
Hopefully longer. Yeah.
So that's the way you harden yourself. So I will say I really like the auto compound feature. Also, I'll add, we interviewed another DeFi project a few months back, or probably a month ago. And one of the things they're working on is the bridging. So you no longer have to, do so many steps. So I can see where you have protocols like this where it'll just work so much easier where a person just can take the regular Bitcoin, Ethereum, and through whatever process the DeFi sector comes up with, they can just literally just click and add all that stuff to the platform without going through the necessary steps. Because for me personally, that is one of the things that turns me off sometimes. Like it takes an hour sometimes to upload your capital on some of these protocols.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, I go through this every day because I'm the one that has to take the Bitcoin from BTC mainnet and put it to work on BSC, right? So I do this every day, at least once, right? So it is a pain. It does take a lot of time. So one thing that we're planning a couple advancements for this site. Like one of them is going to be taking your stake positions and moving them to BSC so that you can get you can basically get involved in earning on your Bitcoin and then learn about DeFi. And then once you're comfortable with DeFi, take your position, go there. We pay out slightly higher over there, right? So it's like we're going to give you that option, and we're thinking like while we have that option, why not just let people deposit Bitcoin here, and we'll just give them BTCB on BSC. Like so, we'll just basically have that on ramp from BTC mainnet to BNB Smart Chain. So it's planned. I'm not sure any estimates for when that'll be available, but that's
right. Those
things
take time for sure.
Yeah, and like as well as like a learning, like a university type thing where you can just learn all about DeFi, right? So if somebody comes here and stakes their Bitcoin and they want to learn about DeFi, we want to give them everything that they need to learn about it and feel comfortable using it. That's nice. What we want to do as well.
Hanford, your team or your guys' community definitely loves you. They're calling you handsome for it. So there you have it.
This happened last week. It was who is it? Who was it? I'm trying to see.
Probably I'll be the brains. He can be the looks.
There it is. Speaking of brains, so did you develop this yourself or did you hire developers? How was the security audit done? Tell us about the actual formation of Bomb Money.
So Bomb Money, Tomb Finance was just so successful. I was just shocked that nobody had forked it yet. So when I forked their project, I said, I'm going to change the least possible because they got something that works. They're the first ones that I've ever seen that had an algo coin that actually was sustainable, that was actually generating insane yields for their users regularly, right? So I said, I'm going to change the least possible because I want that winning formula, but I'm just going to change a couple of things that I thought could use tweaks, such as pegging to Bitcoin. Such as being on a bigger network than Tomb Finance. So really, like when it comes to security, I didn't change any of those battle tested smart contracts, right? So like anything security related, like I said, they had 1.5 billion total value locked, zero issue, right? If they didn't get attacked at that point,
right, it's not getting attacked.
Yeah,
they made it. They made it.
Yeah. So that's really the key for me is just when I'm forking a project to add something to Bomb Money, or when I made the core Bomb Money, it is, unless something needs to be changed, it can probably stay the same, right? Like unless there's a good reason to change it, I don't want to introduce security vulnerabilities, right? It's, having something that our users can trust is of utmost importance to us, right? And it's one of our core values for sure.
And your background, how are you able to even understand all of this stuff?
Lots of spare time he's got.
I don't sleep, and I learn real quick.
There we go. All right. I'm also looking at this roadmap. I like that you all updated it recently. It looks like February 22nd. So that's pretty cool. Okay. We're going to be running bond money BSC validators. That would be pretty cool for the audience out there. New BSC ways to participate in the protocol, shifted toward a community governed project where all contracts are owned by a DAO. These are all good things I like seeing. What's the thing you're most excited about that's coming next?
It's actually a top secret project that we can't really talk too much about right now. But that roadmap, actually, we need to update that. Everything's evolving so quick that's actually a little bit out of date now.
We're bringing too many things out too quickly.
Yeah, there's actually a lot more that we need to add to that roadmap.
Yeah,
even things that we've already achieved.
Definitely keep us abreast. Like I said, I think people would definitely be going tour here. And for those who are wondering, I'm putting all these links in the chat as well as the video when the show is over. You'll be able to see those, the Twitter links, Telegram, and all that good stuff. Discord, make sure you check them out. Quiet Money, thank you. Is this the same bomb that was on Ethereum a while back? Were you guys on Ethereum?
Nope.
No. Different
There's
bomb.
a couple different bombs out there.
How does that work for you all, especially when it comes to wallets and stuff? Because I find I strongly dislike that. It's confused. I'm sure it's done pretty intentionally too. But how do you all think about that?
So, I think there's sometimes where there's just happens to be two different tokens with the same name where it's not malicious, right? Like that's just something that happens. Maybe they're on different networks. Maybe they're on the same network. Not much you can really do about that, right? Like, so we have links to buy our tokens right from our homepage. So, that's how you can know that you're getting the right token. As well as, for anyone that's not in the US, I know it sucks that this is not available in the US because it's such a great swap site, but we do have native listings on 1inch, and this is actually the most preferred way to swap.
1inch is a great site too. I agree for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's a shame it doesn't work in the US though. For example, so if you look at this, like if you're going to swap Bitcoin to BOM, you could actually see it's going to strategically route this through both of our pools to get you the best rate possible. And 1inch is, as far as I know, the only place that'll do this. So, you could see I'm actually getting like almost up like 70 or 80 more BOM I'm getting than going strictly through our main pool by using 1inch.
Yeah. And then for those who are in the US, of course, we talk about all these things in the masterclass, but you can definitely get a VPN to circumvent, because I didn't realize 1inch wasn't available in the United States until you said it.
Yeah, I didn't know either until some of our users said it, because I updated all of our buy links to use 1inch, and they're like, "Oh, I can't use that site." I'm like, "Oh, yeah. I better change that real quick," right? Because don't want people seeing that if they're not aware of how to get around it. So we have Bogged Finance, who also has token listings for us. So all of our buy links on our homepage are going to go to Bogged. This is not going to intelligently route through all of our pools, so you're not going to get quite as preferential of a rate. But for smaller trades, it's probably not going to make a big difference. A couple BOM maybe at most. That was a 1 Bitcoin trade I was just doing where it was like a 80 BOM difference. So
I love it.
So
all right, folks. For those listening again, this is BOM Money, BOM.money. And of course, where you can stake Bitcoin and get rewards. You can farm LP tokens from their own actual token itself and get higher APRs where they auto compound them. And it sounds like they have a ton of other things on the horizon. I personally can't wait for the using XBOM for collateral with that partnership. I think that's going to be a big partnership.
Huge.
Yeah, that's going to be huge, because for those who are in the know, you know how DeFi works. Essentially, you can take your XBOM, you can get the Bitcoin collateral, or use it for collateral to get Bitcoin. Then you can take your Bitcoin and collateralize that as well. So my DGen brain is already bouncing around right now, the different possibilities. So I definitely can't wait.
And that XBOM.
What's that?
And that XBOM that you got as collateral is going to be earning you 400% at the same time as a yield-bearing token. So
it still will work as a yield-bearing token.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
The ratio always keeps increasing of how many BOM you can redeem for that XBOM. So no matter if it's deposited as collateral or not, it's always increasing in value.
That's the key.
No, I love it. And last but not least, is there any minimums to actually participate in your ecosystem, or is it just basic crypto minimums as long as the gas fees can be paid and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I mean, like if you're putting less than what gas is gonna, just because of gas, you probably don't want to do any less than like $5-10. I think here our minimum is what the default is, which
So it's around $100 in this one.
Perfect. Okay. So there you go, folks. You're looking at on the low end, anywhere from 50 to $100 to get you started in this space. And yeah, if you're one of those people who like to experiment with these type of protocols and platforms, of course, it is not any type of investment advice. But for me personally, like I do like being stakeholders in new projects or different projects just to see. And I mean, this comes a part of learning. So again, thank you for being here, Hanford and Aaron. I'll leave you both with some couple of comments to share with us in our community. Hanford, you can go first.
I say just thank you everybody who's just been involved with Bomb Money so far, and everybody else we're going to be onboarding soon with our new UI. Our marketing's going to go mad. I've got a big list of YouTubers, yourself included, who I'm going to be hitting up to try and get some videos out about it, to really try and grow exponentially. That's the aim.
Hey, listen, I got a lump of capital. I didn't mean to cut you off, Aaron. I'm sorry. I got a lump of capital if you do get us involved, where I will throw it on there and play around with it. So definitely let us know. Aaron, what you got for us?
Will do.
I just got to say, you know what? Our team and even, our community is just second to none. Like, I really highly recommend anybody jump in our Telegram or Discord. We got the links right up here on the homepage. Jump in, talk to our fellow bombers, and, join the community because
everybody's helpful.
Second to none. Everybody's so helpful. They, everybody wants to do what's best for the protocol so we can all make the most amount of money in the long term. And if you're not part of the community, you're missing out. So
you should be.
And I strongly also suggest that, folks, if you're thinking about putting capital on any of these platforms, join the community, know what's going on, because oftentimes if there is something that will go wrong, and especially when you have a public facing, CEO, founder, operations officer, usually they will tell you like, hey, something's about to go wrong. Something's going wrong. We don't know what's up. They let you know about these things in the Discords and the Telegrams, or let's just say it's not a, end of the world scenario. Nothing's going wrong, but it was just something you may want to be on the lookout for. Of course, MailChimp was just hacked. They're sending out emails to different projects. Like, this is where you find that information out. And then, by the way, you find out about the new stuff. Hey, we got this bonus coming up only for the first 1,000 people from the next 3 weeks. Like, you won't know about this unless you're in these channels. So if you're definitely going to become a stakeholder in these projects, you want to be involved. And that's a free and easy thing to do. So the free and easy thing to do first, sign up for their Discord or Telegram, get involved in the community and the conversation. And then if you're ready, as they said, about 50 to 100 in fiat will actually make you an active stakeholder on their platform. So fun times ahead. I can't wait to find out more about this project. Again, I'm probably going to go ahead and take a little dabble into myself with these APRs you got. But this is Bomb Money, Bitcoin plus DeFi reimagined. Again, that current daily APR for Bitcoin is almost about 0.4%. And then you have some up to about 300% when it's compounded on the staking and farming side.
And don't forget about bombbtc.com. So your direct Bitcoin mainnet staking. If you're not comfortable in DeFi, bombbtc.com. We got live chat. We got you covered.
There it is, folks.
To add to this one here as well, you can onboard via card, via bank transfer, via Apple Pay. It's a lot simpler than the DeFi side as well.
Oh, wow. That is okay. There it is.
Yeah, you go on the dashboard there.
Apple Pay as well.
I believe Apple Pay is an option. Yeah.
This is crazy. This
is
it's all coming together here. Here it's coming together.
I'm not an Apple device, so it's not working for me. But yeah, it'll work if you're on an Apple device, I guess.
Yeah, and this here, you deposit via one of those options, and it goes straight into your vault, and you're earning straight away. That's it. You just leave it until you want to withdraw it back out.
There it is, folks. And for all those links and descriptions, including Bomb BTC, all of those are in description after the video. So make sure you check it out. Smash that like and share. Leave some comments. Let us know what your experience has been on Bomb, what you think about it. And if you haven't experienced it, go experience it and come back with information. Other than that, make sure you smash that like and share. And as always, thanks for watching. We will see you all tomorrow with some more Bitcoin, crypto, and Bitcoin blockchain news. Cheers.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.